name's Peter Shepherd. I'm conducting a room safety check before undergoing the 3 lessons involved in SITH FA-BO27, Serve Food and Beverage. I've looked around the room's clean, furniture is in the appropriate places for learning, it's all in good condition and there's no damage. The lighting seems to be adequate for easy reading and learner comfort, and it's well ventilated. The floors have no debris, there are no wires, there are no cables, all rugs have been tucked away, and the furniture is free of trip hazards. The resources are in place for our sessions today. We have all of the items that are required for the 3 session plans, including the table settings, the furniture, the drink glasses, the trays, the serving equipment, and so forth. I've identified the fire exit at the far end of the room. It's clearly signed. Fire extinguisher is also clearly signed, as is the first aid kit. All these will be identified to the learners when they arrive. In terms of the environment, the lighting is good. Temperature in the room is comfortable, and there is no major noise distractions or anything to interfere with today's learning. We'll move on to the safety briefing. Good morning everybody, and welcome to the first session of our food and beverage module, SITH FA-BO27, Serve Food and Beverage. Before we begin today's session, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I also extend that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people participating in this training. I'd like to start by setting some expectations to ensure that this session is safe, respectful and comfortable for everybody. This training is practical, hands-on session, and it's important that we all feel supported to participate, ask questions and learn at our own pace. Please treat each other with respect, be mindful of personal space and communicate in a positive and professional manner throughout this session. If at any point you do feel uncomfortable, unsure, fatigued or you need clarification, please let me know straight away. Everybody's well-being is important and adjustments can be made as required to support the safe participation. We'll now cover some key workplace health and safety requirements relevant to today's session. As this training takes place in a dining room environment, it's important to be aware of your surroundings. Please ensure that the walkways all remain clear. If you do have any personal items, water bottles, bags, mobile phones, etc., please don't leave them on the floor where they could become a trip hazard. And just be mindful of where other people are so that we don't bump into each other. Today we're going to be handling crockery, cutlery, glassware and some service equipment. These things do need to be handled a little bit carefully to avoid breakage or injury. If we do drop anything, break anything, then please let me know. Don't attempt to pick it up yourself. We'll have it dealt with safely and disposed of. When we're carrying items, we're going to use some safe manual handling techniques. This is quite a deep table, so we have to be careful that we're not overextending or leaning forward, especially when we're holding heavier things. Avoid good posture, which we'll demonstrate as we go through it, and do avoid rushing. There's no race on this, so we don't need to be walking dangerously quickly. Personal hygiene is a really important part of food and beverage service. Please ensure that your hands are clean before we start today's practical sessions. You're going to be touching cutlery, crockery, glassware and other things that people will use to eat. There's some sanitizer on the table, and sometimes it can be, if you've got sores or any open wounds or just unsure, it can be good to wear a pair of gloves. Setting the table, it's actually quite beneficial because you don't leave fingerprints all over the cutlery, so it can be a positive for that as well. In the event of an emergency, exits are located towards the end of the room and clearly signed. Fire extinguisher is signed over here behind me, and the first aid kit is in that room to the end there up on the right. If an emergency does arise, I just ask you to follow instructions, remain calm, and someone will come and escort us out of the building to the muster station. Finally, this is a supportive learning environment. Mistakes are all part of learning, we all make them, and questions are encouraged. My role here is to guide and support you throughout this session, so please ask me for help whenever you need it. We'll now move into this session's focus. Today's module is about setting a table. The objective today is to learn how to set the table consistently and confidently so that you can use that in a workplace setting. This is a core skill used in restaurants and function centres. It's going to be really important if any of you are looking for a role with that. Well, just before we get started, we might do an introduction. So my name's Peter, I will be your trainer today. and I've been in this industry for a long time, working both front and back, and I'm hopeful that I can share some of those insights with you as we move along. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Lauren. I have had some experience in working in the industry and I'm looking to improve my skills.
Excellent. Welcome, Lauren.
I'm Emma. I'm a recent school leaver. I'm about to start university and I'm just looking for my first job.
Fantastic. You're in the right place.
I'm Nicola. I've got a full-time job, but I've got a big mortgage and I'm looking to pick up some weekend work, so just getting some training and new skills.
Excellent.
Hello, I'm Eileen. I've retired from full-time work, but I could do with a bit to supplement my pension.
I understand. Well, there's lots of opportunities in food and beverage, both full-time, part-time, and of course that casual weekend work, which can be very rewarding. Today's session is about carrying and clearing 3 plates. Last week we talked about how to set a table, and as you can see this table's been really well set in front of us. We might have a little recap before we start carrying the plates around and just identify if this has all been done satisfactorily. Today's session we're going to learn how to carry 3 plates, how to serve 3 plates to a seated diner, and how to clear 3 plates safely. Using correct posture, we're going to try and avoid leaning, and obviously we need to be very careful not to spill anything on either the customers or ourselves. Obviously carrying 3 plates is a really key part to a lot of cafe jobs, restaurant jobs, function work, so it's a really important skill to master. What do you think could happen if we turn up to work on our first day and we can't carry 3 plates?
We're going to be told to carry 3 plates and we're going to have an accident.
Absolutely, accidents happen. Not everyone is always going to be able to carry 3, and some venues will actually only require you to carry 2, but having the skill set there to carry 3 is going to be really important.
Does anyone require you to carry more than 3?
Not for everybody.
No. Okay.
Some can, and some do. Sometimes if you see that sort of very old school professional waiter, maybe in an Italian restaurant where it's actually a profession, they'll try and carry 4 or even 5. And I think if you go online and have a look at some YouTube videos, there are people out there that carry dozens of plates at a time, and they're all stuck in different between all their fingers.
I've seen it on a cruise ship, them carrying 4 plates.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
It's certainly a skill. What do you think can go wrong with carrying 4 plates? Why?
How do you take this one off?
Putting them down is a really key consideration, absolutely. There's no point getting to the table and not being able to actually put anything down safely. And what are the guys in the kitchen doing to the food before they send it out?
Plating up.
Right, so they're spending time and effort putting it on the plate, to putting a sauce on it. So when we're carrying the plates, one of the key skills that we're going to be looking at is how do we carry it flat? And how do we keep watching it and making sure that everything gets out to the customer the same way that it left the kitchen and the same way up. Because the orientation can be very important as well. Today's session we're going to do a bit of a demonstration. I'll talk you through how we carry the 3 plates. Then we'll give you some time to practice doing that yourself, just walking around with the 3. Then we'll look at how to serve them down to a seated diner, and we can take turns of who's going to be the diner and who's going to be the deliverer. And then finally we're going to look at clearing those plates again. So 3 stages. To finish off the session today we're going to have a little exercise actually carrying some plates with some food items on it, and you'll see that it just makes it a little bit more difficult depending on what the food items are, and then we'll wrap the sessions up. Once we've done this, we've done 2 of the key parts to this training session, and the next thing that we'll start to talk about is how we're using the glassware that's provided on the tables. So before we get started, maybe let's have a little recap of how we set the table from last week. So what was the first thing that we did, Lauren, when we set it?
We lined our chair and napkin.
Absolutely, got our placement. That wasn't quite the first thing. What was the first thing? Anyone else?
Gathering together all the things we were going to need.
Excellent, getting all of our equipment together. Then finding the positioning, and then what's the final step once we've laid everything out, Emma?
Setting it all up.
Checking.
And after that? Checking. That's right. Yeah, very important to do the checking.
Yeah.
All right, so when we're carrying 3 plates, we've got a whole pile of plates. You know, these are quite small plates. They're a great ones to start with. Some plates are easier or harder than others to carry. If they're bowls or they're particularly heavy, then you should only be carrying the 2 possibly. And sometimes plates can be really hot, so you do need to be careful. It's always, especially in a function kitchen or where you think the food may have sat for a while, just testing the plates first. If they are hot, then the venue that you're working in should give you a waiter's cloth or something to carry them as well. So we're going to take our 3 plates. I'll lay those out. 1, 2, 3. The first thing that we're going to do is that we covered this last week, but you're all right-handed, yes? Mm-hmm. So if you're a right-handed person, traditionally you would carry the 2 plates in your left hand, so that your right hand, your dominant hand, is free, and that can then be the one that you use to clear, and it also allows you to reach in and place those plates down. So the first thing that we're going to do is pick up the first plate, using our right hand, and position it in our left hand. It's really important that you don't just walk up and grab this one straight with your left, because it will affect how the others all sit there. So the first plate comes in, it sits on 3 fingers, pinky is underneath, but most importantly, the thumb knuckle.
Pinky over the top. Yeah.
Pinky's over the top.
Uh-huh.
And you notice that I've avoided putting my thumbprints all over the plates or the fingerprints all over it. That are, apart from being a little bit of hygiene, some plates will really show those fingerprints up. Then we pick up our second plate, again in the right hand, and we place it on top of that tripod that we've formed there between the thumb, the pinky tip, and the knuckle of the thumb. It sits on there. And we can adjust how those plates sit by moving just our thumb or just the pinky. And that's where the practice comes in, that you need to be able to confidently assure that the plates are horizontal and they're not banging into each other. That allows us to then pick up the third plate, again keeping our thumbprint away from it, so we're carrying using the heel of the thumb and the plates. As we go to walk around with them, it's always good practice to keep spaghetti arms. Keep your arms nice and loose, and that means that as you're walking through, if people bump you, then you're not going to be banging into the plates and getting food all over your uniform. So you can carry them nice and open, and we should be able to move quite confidently around the room with them before coming back to our setting. All right, who fancies having a go at that?
Yes.
I will.
All right, so we might do this one at a time so that we can talk through that business. So, Lauren, perhaps you go first. You were the least enthusiastic. So. All right, so perhaps probably good to stand up first of all. Okay, so that's right, exactly. Locking it in place, and you're forming that triangle between those.
I've lost my hands.
Very good. How does that feel?
Quite nice and comfortable.
Okay, excellent.
Your end plate's a bit on the wall.
So I'll support it. Can you feel if you release the tension in the fingers a little bit, it flattens out?
Yeah.
Or push your thumb up.
There's not much more I can release the fingers.
If you lift your thumb tip up like that, okay, and now you can lower your arm. Very good. All right, how does that feel?
Good.
Okay, have a little walk around the room and see if that's comfortable. Keeping your body nice and loose and arms nice and wide.
Good job. Nice.
Excellent. Well done, Lauren.
I think that's one plate you just got the dinner off it.
All right, so pop those down. Emma, do you want to have a practice?
Yeah.
That's it. Very good. Have you done this before?
Yes.
A couple of times. Just watch that right hand, that your thumbprint's not all over the rim, so That's the way. Excellent.
Whoop! I didn't do that.
That's it. Right, keeping your elbows nice and away from your body so that if you get bumped, you don't make a big mess. Very good. Very relaxed, Emma. Well done. All right, Nicola, you can have a go with those. Very easy. You've clearly done this before a couple of times. There we go. Very good.
Oh, you went twist around at the end.
There you go. Okay, Ali. Right, so bring the first one up. Very good. That's the way. Excellent. Just watch your front plate doesn't droop too much. That's just keeping the tension in those fingers. And then the third one. Very good. Excellent.
Nice.
How does that feel?
Oh, good.
So try and relax and let your elbows out from your body. Very good. Excellent. That seems pretty good. Does everyone feel comfortable doing that? Does anyone want a little bit more time to have another couple of practice runs?
No?
No? Okay. So the next stage that we need to do, so we've talked about how you pick them up and how you walk around the room. Now we need to worry about what happens when you get to the final destination, which is where your customers are seated. This can be a little bit more difficult because they don't necessarily always know that you're there, and maybe they've left their phone on the table or their handbag or their napkins, so there may be things that will force you to talk to them. But what we do need to do is just be systematic to it. So if we're always approaching in from the right, at least there's some expectation of where you're going to be.
So the customer's right.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So we're coming this way.
Correct.
Right, okay.
Right, so I'm going to pick up my plate. So the first one into the left hand, second one, third one. Now I'm going to do the walk. And the first plate that I'm going to put down is the last plate that I picked up. So it's really important that if there are specific dishes that are going to people that you remember which one's which. So the first one comes in, place down in front and hand out of the way. Move behind, second plate, in, hand out and away, and then the third plate. And come into the side. It's really important that when you're laying the plates down, concentrate that you don't put it down into the place setting. It's very easy to do if you're distracted or looking around, that you might, and that can be really embarrassing when someone ends up with their dinner in their lap. All right, so we might do this individually as well, I suppose, to sort of keep the ball rolling. So I'll pick these plates back up.
It wasn't very tasty.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, well here's your plates.
I moved the serviettes out of the way.
Good idea. We can just put the serviettes on the side plates, probably easy. Excellent. Right, so the first plate comes in. Very nice. So it's really tempting when you've got just that one last plate left in your left hand to reach in and put that down. But if you get into the habit of only ever serving with your right hand, it makes it nice and easy to sneak in around that right side of the customer, rather than trying to backhand it in. If they move, you get a bit more off kilter. Excellent. Okay, so let's gather those plates back up, and then Lauren, you can have a turn. Here's your third plate. Nice, very good. Nice try. 3 points. Excellent. So,
Wrong side.
in from the other side.
I don't know my left from my right.
So when you're coming in from this side, the way to think about it is, as you're serving in from this side, you're making eye contact and you're facing the right way. If we're serving it in from this side, you're either looking over your shoulder or you're putting your bottom in their face. There may be times that you need to introduce or tell people what that is, or they may even ask you questions about, oh, what did I order? What's this one? So
Nothing for you, madam.
Is this the ravioli?
No, it's air. On a diet. And for you?
this is the low carb meals, is it?
Yeah.
Excellent. That was really well done, Lauren. Good job. Okay, let's grab these plates, and Emma, you can have a turn. That's number 3. That's it. Good. Very nice. Well done.
Thank you. That's not what I ordered.
Oh no. Thank you.
Very good.
Excellent. How did that feel, Emma? Did it feel comfortable?
Yeah, it was good.
Good. Very well done. Make these last one last time. Okay, Eileen. There you are. 1, 2, 3. I think you've got a dinner party tonight, so this could come in handy.
It could, as long as I don't have too heavy bowls.
Thank you.
We're all very polite to customers, that's good.
Thank you.
Excellent, well done. Very good. Okay, so that sort of brings us to the next, what's the next stage in the dining sequence?
Eating.
Sorry. Eating, we're missing the eating part today, Emma, unfortunately. After the eating has been done, then what are we doing?
Clearing
We
away.
have to clear it away, exactly right. And the clearing can be sometimes more difficult than the serving. Why do you think? What can contribute to that, do you think?
A whole load of food left on the plate.
Could be food left on there.
Cutlery.
Cutlery, that's right. So when we're taking the plates out, we don't have to worry about the cutlery. But when we're bringing the plates back in, often we do need to be worrying about the cutlery. And in a function situation, by the time all of the food's been finished, then we need to clear everything off the table, salt and pepper, bread baskets and all that sort of stuff as well. So as we're going to pick up our plates, we're going to pick them up and clear them in exactly the same order that we did initially. And we're going to put into that first plate in our left hand, that becomes our base. And all of our scraps and all of our cutlery is going to go onto that plate. So I'll just ask you to put your entree cutlery onto your plates. How do we identify the entree cutlery, Emma?
It's small.
Excellent. Okay. And what does this tell us when people have got their knives and forks together like that?
They're finished.
Like that.
That's our go signal. So it's generally good etiquette that you wait until everybody at the table is finished before we start to clear. It can be very awkward if we go to clear something and people haven't finished, they're just talking or using their cutlery as a microphone. So all of our cutlery is going to end up in the one plate. Now this can mean that it's quite heavy, so even though you could stack the plates because there's no food on there, they can be heavy, and cutlery makes a huge noise when it hits the ground if you drop it, so take your time. Now instead of serving in from the right, we're going to clear from the left. So this keeps the dirties out of their face. So the first one comes in, and I like to actually pinch down the cutlery with my thumb, hold that first set. It gives us a nice stable platform to put everything else on, and we've still got our tripod. So I can come through and take out the next one.
I think you've just spilled that food down her back.
No, there's no food left. Okay, so the plate goes on, and at this point, as I'm moving towards the next setting, I can very carefully move the cutlery across onto that plate. If there's a lot of food there, we don't want to be scraping it. No one wants to hear that scraping, grinding noise. So if there's something that's really unstable, we can knock it through, but basically just the cutlery is going onto that. And then with our third one, we can come in and pick it up. This plate could go onto the top, or you could carry it in its own. So I'm going to put it onto the top there. This will free up an extra hand. Cutlery goes down onto that one. And potentially I could continue now and pick up a third or fourth or fifth plate as well, or carry an empty bottle or something else that needs to go into the kitchen. I've got a free hand. This can get quite heavy. All of the weight obviously is supported by your fingers for the cutlery, so that's probably going to be a limiting factor. Then when we're getting into the kitchen, it's really important that you're putting things away where they need to go. So in the wash-up area, you'll generally have a bench that you can pop your plates down, and likely it's not going to be a cutlery bucket that you can put all your cutlery in together before the final plate. Okay. So we'll give you back your cutlery. You can reset those. And have a plate, Lauren. Who would like to go first at the clearing?
Me.
Come on, we've all volunteered. There's a plate. Okay, so if you'll put your cutlery into the centre as if you're finished, and off you go.
So you want to
Yes.
clear from the left.
Generally, you clear from the customer's left, correct?
Do you still use your right hand?
Yes.
And I need to put this under my.
I like to pinch it under my thumb just so I don't drop that first couple. Alright, so in from the other side. That's right. And the reason is that you're keeping this plate right out of Lauren's face, so you're not putting the dirty cutlery from somebody else under her nose as you come in. That's it. Very good. Outside.
Other side.
Excellent. Well done. How does that feel for weight? Is that comfortable, Emma?
Yeah, feels fine.
So you could possibly go another one if you have the opportunity to, but better to make it safely to the kitchen than to try and overload it. One of the things that you often find is that as soon as you've got a lot of plates in your hand, someone will decide to talk to you for a while about something they did last week. Okay, give everyone back their plates and their cutlery and we'll have another go. Alright, Lauren, would you like a go?
These ones particularly make a very loud sound when they fall on the floor.
They would, yes.
Especially on these tiles, yes.
Very good, well done.
Wrong side. Oh no, beg your pardon.
There we go, good, excellent. How did that feel, Lauren?
Good.
Stable?
Yes.
Very good, well done. Okay, you can give those plates and cutlery back and we'll do do the next one. Alright, Aileen, you can give it a go. That's okay. There we go. Alright. In for the second one. That's it. In we come.
Excuse me, madam.
Alright, so that plate goes up on the top onto your tripod. And then with the other right hand, place the cutlery down onto that carry plate. Excellent. That's the way. Very good. Excellent. So you're away. So you can place this one on the top there, a double stack, and then move your cutlery down onto the front hand.
My thumb's not long enough.
Excellent. There you go. You'll only be able to hold the first one. I always find the first one is the trouble, and once you've got a few on there, they nestle in. All right. How does that feel? Comfortable? Heavy?
Quite heavy.
Yeah, they add up pretty quickly. As soon as you have that third one in the hand, it does add up. And I guess coming back to how many plates can people carry, the arm strength and the weight of the plates is probably a key factor to that. All right. So that felt pretty natural and pretty comfortable as we were carrying the 3 plates with nothing on them. Obviously, this all becomes a little bit more difficult when you're carrying the 3 plates with something on them.
Did you want me to cover that?
No, sorry, Nicola, we forgot. Absolutely.
It is too late.
Did you enjoy your dinner?
I did. It was very delicious.
Actually, I realise I'm allergic to nuts and you put nuts on my plate.
Is everything satisfactory, madam?
Well, no, I thought a steak was better than...
Well done. Excellent. Pop those back in. Alright, so before you sit down, Nicola, you look pretty comfortable. We might give you a couple of things to put on the plates. See if that makes things a little bit more tricky. So we can have a couple of carrots, an apple, and a grapefruit.
Hey, I know what? Oh, grapefruit, sorry.
So to pick them up and
Just
put them down?
just pick them up and have a walk and see how it feels. Does take practice, and what I'd suggest that you're doing when you're at home, if you're just taking your own dinner to the table or you're taking your dinner to the couch or wherever it may be, practice carrying multiple plates at a time and think about how to keep them stable. That's it. Excellent. So you can see, looking ahead rather than concentrating on the plates is key here. And the more you concentrate on what you're carrying, you tend to get a little bit off balance. That's really well done, Nicola. Thank you. Does anybody else feel up to the challenge of carrying some plates with me? Okay, Emma, let's have a go.
Oh, sorry, I have the entire table.
That's it.
Should I be resting the plate in my hand?
That's it.
more?
Very good. So keep your eyes up. Very nice, well done. Excellent. Does anyone else want to have a go carrying the three?
Oh.
And here we go. I think it's unlikely that you'll have to carry something as roly-poly as an apple on a plate in the near future. But does anyone else want to have a go with that? Or
I'm happy just to watch this. I'm satisfied.
you're satisfied that you've got the basic skills? That's good. Get that out of the way. All right. So today we started out with the intention of learning to carry 3 plates and how to carry them safely, set them safely, and then how to pick them back up again. We went through those steps. Lauren, was there anything? How did that feel for you today? Was it what you expected or easier than you expected it to be?
Easier than I expected it to be.
Good, excellent. And Emma, do you feel confident that you could do that in a workplace situation?
Yeah.
As long as it's an apple.
As long as it's
Yeah.
not apples.
And you have to remember accidents do happen, and one of the important things is that when that first accident's happened, that you don't let it throw you and then lose all the other plates that you're carrying. Often you see people carrying plates with cutlery on and they drop one fork and it makes a big bang, and the response is to panic and then drop all the rest of the cutlery and a load of other stuff on the floor. Nicola, you've obviously done that before. Did that confirm some of your pre-existing skills?
Yeah, it's nice to have a refresher. It's been a long time.
Good, excellent. You look really comfortable, so I think you'll have no difficulty going out into the workforce.
Thank you.
Eileen, probably a little bit new for you today, the 3 plates.
It was, yes.
Did it surprise you how easy it was or how difficult it was?
I think it will require a little bit of practice, but I hope I can acquire the skill.
Well, practice is the key to it, and that's why I say the more you do it, the easier it'll become. So anytime you're out and you're carrying 3 plates, or even carrying 2 plates, it can be worth just putting them both in the one hand rather than one in each hand, and just getting used to how that feels and seeing where it's going. So I thought you all did really well with that today. You concentrated and followed the steps really carefully. Apart from the one little apple incident, there was no breakages, which is fantastic. I guess the thing that we need to focus on is just practice. And that's the only thing that's going to make a difference as we move forward. Does anyone have any questions about today's learnings? Excellent. Did everybody feel that there was sufficient time to practice throughout the session?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
And did anyone have any feedback on things that maybe we could do for this session in the future to make it better or more accessible?
Or you could serve some raviolis for us, Joy.
I'll serve it with real food. You think that would motivate the people?
Yes.
Very good. All right, well, thank you for today's attendance. Again, you will receive a feedback form in the mail. If you can fill that in and send it back, it would be greatly appreciated. Next week, we are going to look at the final section, which is about serving and carrying trade beverage. In the meantime, continue to pay attention when you're out and about, looking at the place settings and practicing carrying your plates. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.